for the Chef in a Box is going to be great. And we are going to learn about Kentucky's first and only arts-focused bourbon charity, Bourbon with Art. So this is really cool. Morgan Hancock is a U.S. Army veteran, a Bourbonista, and very passionate advocate about the arts. So you are a veteran. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. A Bourbonista, how did that get started?
Well, I'm a female and I love bourbon.
You're
so Bourbonista.
So just the love of bourbon. It's so funny. My sister too just absolutely loves bourbon. So many people. She's a Bourbonista. Then there you go. That's how you become a Bourbonista. So how did this start? Like this bourbon with heart, this art and bourbon. How did this come about?
Well, I'm from Kentucky. I've always taken pride in being from Kentucky. I love my state, and two of my favorite things about Kentucky are its bourbon and its artists.
We celebrate art like, I think, I mean, I know everybody thinks New York and L.A. and all that, but we celebrate art, I think, like no other.
Well, that is perfect. Perfectly leads into what I was going to say, because the whole world, Kentucky is known worldwide for being a leader in the bourbon industry, but we're lesser known for our vibrant and rich arts culture. And so I felt like this would be a great way to use and kind of leverage that existing popularity and influence of bourbon to bring that awareness, raise funds, educate people, celebrate the arts culture of Kentucky.
And we have all kind of art. I mean, we're on stage. We have music. We have always made things with our hands, whether it was things that we used in our homes or the pottery that we cook with. Pictures. I mean, the mediums that we use in this state are like no other.
I agree.
I'm so very proud. So Bourbon with Heart, that's Kentucky's first and only focused bourbon charity. Talk about what you all are thinking about doing, what you're going to do, and what's coming up.
Well, what's coming up, our inaugural event is called Barrels of Heart. It's a Bourbon Barrel Art Exhibit. We'll have 20 bourbon barrels that will be custom designed, hand-painted by 20 local artists. That artist call is actually going on right now. It ends in 2 days.
So you still need the artist?
Yes, we've got over 100 submissions so far. But it is still open. We've not made final selections. Will not be made until after November 11th. So you still have time. Just go to bourbonwithheart.org. There's a tab that says Artist Call. They still have time to submit to be one of the 20 artists. These barrels will be on display at Fraser History Museum.
Okay, so are you going to sell them? Because I'll fight for a barrel that has art on it. I'm not kidding. My bar downstairs in my basement is made from bourbon barrels. Wonderful gentleman that does woodwork did them. But I tried to get a barrel that had art on it once. My pockets just were not deep enough, and I wanted these barrels, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. So will you later sell them? Like, what happens to the barrels once the art goes on?
Well, great question. So you'll actually have an opportunity. You can fight one of our 20 sponsors. So each barrel is sponsored by a distillery or local company, and at the
Okay.
So we are actually accepting sponsors still.
I was going to say, do you need sponsors? So how do they sponsor? What do they do in order to sponsor? What's the cost of that? And what do they do? Because in helping you, then they're making a difference.
Right, because I don't know if you know this already, but each barrel, the funds from the barrel sponsors, Barrel of Heart sponsors is what we're calling them, those will the winning artists, we didn't say, the barrels will be voted on. Throughout the exhibit, the public will have the opportunity to vote on their favorite barrel.
At Fraser Museum.
Yes, at Fraser Museum. And at the end of that, the winning artist barrel, they'll receive a $1,000 cash scholarship to the artist, plus $1,000 to that artist's nonprofit of choice. And then all the remaining proceeds will be divided up among 3 local nonprofits, which are Dream Center Academy, I Would Rather Be Reading, and Blanket Louisville. So how you sponsor a barrel, you just contact us at bourbonwithheart@gmail.com or go on our website, and it's got all the details and all the info.
All right, and the cost for sponsoring a barrel?
It's $3,000 per barrel.
All right, not that much to sponsor a barrel, especially for a company. Bourbon with Heart. organization there, and those nonprofits that you talked about, two of them I know of, Dream Center, they take kids and they do wonderful things, educating them. I know one was reading. Name them all three again.
I would rather be reading.
I'd rather
It's the
be
NCI
reading.
hubs.
There you go.
It started during 2020, but it's just
taken off.
Taken off. And then Blanket Local. They provide blankets to homeless.
Oh my gosh, you just touched my heart there. What do you hope for this? What do you hope for this nonprofit that you built?
Well, I just hope that it touches it's already touched lives, so I know it's going to do that. I hope that it touches lives. I hope that it, what everyone hopes when they have a nonprofit, makes the world a little better place. And, I feel like art is more than just a mere hobby or luxury. It's really a manifestation of everything that makes us uniquely human, the ability to use our imagination to recreate our world around us. And I hope that this exhibit and these barrels, they're used, they're dirty, they've got some scrapes on them, are about to be transformed into something beautiful. And I just feel like that's a metaphor, for our life too, that we can use our imagination to take the tools that life gives us and create something beautiful with it.
I think also that you're an example. I started a nonprofit, a recipe to end hunger, just because hunger ended up in my face, and when it did, it knocked me down. I couldn't let go of it in my head and my heart. You did this, and a lot of people think in their minds that something's too big for them to handle. What would you say? I mean, you did this. Like something made you do this. Speak to somebody who they got something in their heart and they want to do something, but they think it's just too big. They think they just can't do it.
Yeah,
but you can.
Absolutely, and that's a message that I really hope people get when they look at me and they look at this. I was actually headed to a Dream Center event, just walking down the sidewalk and saw a trash can. And no offense to trash cans, but I thought, that doesn't look that great. And I thought, how cool would that be if that was, a cool painted bourbon barrel? We've got the painted horses throughout the city and all that. And I thought, that would be really cool to do something with bourbon barrels. So I go home and Google what you always do if you have any idea. And I go, we've never done a bourbon barrel art, anything in Louisville, Kentucky. And it just blew my mind. So then it just continued to grow, the idea. And so I just started putting the wheels in motion. And to my surprise, everyone who I told about it just jumped on board immediately without hesitation, loved the idea, and if I would have never taken that first step to say, hey, I want to do this, I wouldn't be here now, and these artists wouldn't be having this opportunity, and these funds wouldn't be donated to these amazing nonprofits.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it? And it feels very good.
It does.
It does. Bourbonwithheart.org. Go there if you're an artist and you think you might have an idea for these barrels. Do you want to sponsor a barrel and make a difference for these nonprofits? Bourbonwithheart.org. The barrels will be at Fraser Museum. You can see them. Vote for them. Morgan, Hancock. Did I forget anything at all that you want to make sure you share?
You got it.
Okay, we got it. Make sure you support them. And again, for what you're doing, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Very, very much.